Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. Very nearly, this was going to be another Andy refusing to go to school vlog. That is very nearly, he refused to go. It's the first time he's resisted since September, really. We've been going through our routine absolutely fine every morning and there's been no resistance at all. This morning, because of how off he's been all week and the fact he has been sleeping later and later, we let him sleep a little bit later than usual. The problem with sleeping a little bit later than usual is it meant his breakfast was a little more rushed, he got dressed later than usual, his TV shows were out of order. He still insisted on watching Third Rock from the Sun on Channel 4+1 rather than Channel 4 like he'd normally watch it, but of course that meant his normal shoes on, taxis on its way queue, the end of Everybody Loves Raymond. He didn't get that because he was still watching Third Rock from the Sun, which would have been on an hour previously if we'd been watching on the normal time. So when the taxi came, he went off upstairs. He was going upstairs to wash his hands anyway with Anna, just as it arrived, and he had his shoes on at that point, but as part of the whole being upstairs with her when the taxi's here, not seeing the end of the TV show, he just went in his room, shoes off, socks off. He was refusing. It took us over 5 minutes probably to convince him to get his shoes back on, using the board. I had to give him the choice between getting in the taxi himself or me carrying him out to the taxi, and eventually he has reluctantly gone, but we could see from here it was a struggle for them to get the seatbelt on to get him in the taxi. There is something not right at the moment, and interestingly, we said to him, the thing that normally persuades him to go and see Orla, watch Newsround. And he immediately said, no Newsround, no Newsround. So I don't know if they've stopped watching Newsround at school and that's what's I mean, it could be something as simple as that. If they're no longer watching Newsround at school, that could be enough to throw him off completely and make him less likely to want to go. But he's gone, that's the important thing. Hopefully it's just a little blip and we'll be back to normal tomorrow. We'll certainly be back into normal routine tomorrow, and fingers crossed, all will be fine. I now need to rush off. I've got to take Lucy to an orthodontist appointment, get back, get all my videos scheduled for the rest of the day. I've got like an hour and a half's gap before I then have to jump in a car, drive to Cambridge, where I'm talking at the CW Unplugged Tech for Autism event. So lots of rushing around for the rest of the day. Well, that was a waste of time. Their appointment was cancelled apparently, which is weird because they cancelled it 2 weeks ago. I phoned up on Monday to rearrange. They sent a new appointment time through this morning even as well. We had confirmation of the new appointment time and it was still cancelled from when it was originally cancelled. I don't understand what she wasn't making much sense, but it's rebooked for next week. But in a bigger development of news, we've just had a phone call from Andy's school asking us to come and pick him up. It's 9:30, so he's been there half an hour, but apparently he's just in a ball on the floor, refusing to cooperate, complaining that his eyes hurt. They're suggesting we take him to the doctors. Obviously we're not going to be able to get him to the doctors today. My phone's ringing again, hold on. Hello. That was Anna confirming what I was just saying, that we think it's hay fever, and it's very frustrating. It feels like a repeat of what happened like a year and a half ago, and I am worried that despite us regularly discussing it, the school may not have learnt the lessons from last time when Andy had a bit of a iffy week and then went in and wasn't right, and they asked us to bring him home, and then he realised he didn't have to be at school and didn't go again for a year and a half because he just refused. And we've referenced that a lot over the last 6 months since he's been back, and they all agree, yeah, it's right, yeah, we won't do that again. Obviously, if he's not right, we'll just keep him in. When he was ill before, we were sending him into school. And here we are with what I'm pretty certain is just hay fever. And we're being asked to pick him up. So this could be the start of further problems. Which, I mean, we've seen indications of this developing all week. But I'm going to try and nip to a pharmacy on the way home, get as many different types of hay fever medication as I can find. We tried him with a few, but we'll try him with some different ones and see if we can get that into him. But if we can't, I mean, we can't keep him off school all summer while hay fever is going on, because obviously that means he can only go to school half the year, and for the half that he can go, he's ill for 6 weeks of it every year. So I am now in a mega rush. I've got to go and pick him up from school, go to the pharmacy, get home, schedule my videos, and then get out to get to Cambridge. So I'm in a rush now. Oh yeah. I'm looking for some. I'm not sure if the thing I want exists. Okay. Fingers crossed. That stuff's going to be the solution. Right, Anna picked up. Time until I need to leave to go to Cambridge is now 2 hours. Let's go and see what's actually up with Andy. I've got him that spray. Hopefully that's all that is needed to sort him out. Right, we've just been to Andy's school. As you will see, Andy is not with us. Massive thumbs up to the school, to the teachers there, because they've listened, which is, I mean, it's a completely different staff now to what it was 2 years ago, but 2 years ago they didn't listen. This time they have listened, and that is a massive positive. They even told us when we got, I mean, they were already having second thoughts when they brought him down to us, because they made the phone call because he was curled up in a ball, refusing to cooperate or communicate, and just rubbing his eyes and complaining and saying he wanted to go home, basically. So they made the call because they weren't getting anything else out of him. And then apparently the moment they made that call, he ran around into his classroom, really cheerfully saying goodbye to everybody, ran into the classroom next door, said goodbye to all of them, and then just cheered up, opened his eyes, completely happy, as if nothing had ever been wrong.
Well, his eyes aren't great. Oh.
No, but they were open now, and he was fine, and he was chirpy and happy. When he thought we were bringing him home, he was absolutely happy as Larry. But as soon as she brought him down, she took me to one side and said, look, I'm not sure this is the right thing to do now. And I said, I was thinking the exact same thing on the way here. This is very similar to what happened before, because what happened when he started refusing to go to school before is he went in, he basically pretended to be ill, shut down, wanted to come home, and by the time we got there to pick him up, he was cheerful, happy, came home, he was fine, refused to go back for a year and a half. It's a tactic that he's used before. And he's remembered. Yeah, and especially after this morning when he's tried to refuse to come in the first place. He's just trying another thing to try and get home. For what she was saying, he's been brilliant in school this week. He's taken part in a full PE lesson. He's been eating everything he's supposed to be eating. He's been engaging in all the lessons. It's been his best week since he's been back, since September. And I wonder if it's just tiring him out and he wants a day off. So he's trying all the tricks that he's got in his bag of tricks. He's tried to not come in. Now he's tried to get home. He's not at all happy that we've left him there.
Yeah.
We left him in the little safe space breakout area thing that they've got under a blanket with his TA. He's had some of that spray that I bought on both eyes. He does look like he's got irritated eyes. He's sniffing a bit. He's got hay fever. We need to figure out a way to get some nasal spray into him.
Or tablet.
Yeah.
Because the syrup is 5 mils, and I'm not going to get 12 into it.
So I need to learn how to use the manual settings on this camera. In there it's constantly going light and dark and light and dark. Out here in the sunshine it's fine, and we are worried he's going to try the third trick that he has at his disposal, which is refusing to come home. He's not going to have the option to refuse to get in the taxi and come home, because at 3 o'clock when he's supposed to be coming home, I'm going to be 2 hours away from here in Cambridge with my phone off, because that's when I need to be there to do my talk. So if he does refuse, I'm not even going to know about it until after 4 o'clock, and even if I get out at 4 o'clock after I've done my talk and not stay for the rest of the event, I'm not going to be here before 6. So he knows that he needs to get the taxi on the way home. Hopefully he's going to cooperate, and hopefully we've done the right thing. It's always tricky to know for sure, but I think we've done the right thing. Well, we're about an hour and a half later, not heard anything from school, so I'm working on the assumption that that means everything's okay, and he just gave up when he realised he wasn't gonna get to come home, which, I mean, that's the ideal thing really. Hopefully he won't try it tomorrow now, or if he does, the school will be a little less likely just to ring us and get us in. But I think we're probably going to be okay there. I've left a camera with Anna. I've asked her to do a little bit of an update when she gets home, so hopefully future Kev will be able to drop that back in later on in the vlog. But for me now, I hit the road and go to Cambridge. I don't need to be there for 2.5 hours. It's only an hour away, but the last time I went, I sat in traffic for over an hour, and I really can't afford to be late. This is my first proper speaking engagement as an autism expert, or I'm kind of just there as a vlogger slash parent of a kid with autism. But you know, it's the first step on that road towards doing this a bit more often, so can't be late. Hopefully everything's going okay. Time to hit the road. And as you probably already predicted, I'm here nearly 2 hours earlier than I need to be because the traffic was absolutely fine. A journey that took me 2.5 hours, like, what was it, 3 weeks ago? I've just done it just less than an hour. I'm in the same Tesco that I was in when I sat doing that interview with the newspaper a few weeks back. The place I'm going is just the other side of those bushes. I'm now going to try and find a way to kill like an hour and a half. There's a Costa coffee in this Tesco. I might just grab a coffee. I have luckily got my laptop with me, so I could set up with a coffee and do some work, or maybe have a nap in the car. Although there's a good chance I will melt if I do that. In case you're keeping score, I opted for a nap in the car. It's a bad idea. It's just taken 10 minutes to get my arm to wake back up again. The rest of me is just about there though. I am in the room for the CW Wireless Tech for Autism event. That's where I'm going to be speaking in about half an hour's time. People are going to be arriving anytime soon. Apparently I'm up as first speaker. I'm going to record everything that I do. There's a few, and there'll be little snippets of other bits throughout the day, but the main bulk of it is going to be part of a video that I'm putting together for the people at Cambridge Wireless. So don't expect like a massive long review of the event here. You'll get to see my stuff here, and if you want to see the rest of it, once the main video of the event is out, I will link you to that so that you can watch that. I'm making that as well, but it won't necessarily be out today like this vlog is.
So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce you to Kevin Chapman first. Kevin? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hello folks, so I am Kevin Chapman. So talks have all been done. 3 very interesting talks, plus mine. What's going on in there now is there was the 4 challenges which have been set by the two speakers who know what they're talking about, who aren't Kev. I'll put them on the screen now for you so you can see what the challenges are. So they've split up into those 4 groups where they're working on answers to those challenges as part of an ideation workshop. And I'm just going to go around in there, mooch around, pretend I know what I'm talking about, and see if we can grab any interesting people to talk to maybe. So I'm now in this HoloLens thing, and it is mad. If I position it so you can see behind me what I'm seeing through the camera that's in this. So it's got the whole anatomy thing on there, but this is mad. This is nuts.
Walk around the room.
Wow. Oh hello, we've got Netflix over here. I'm going over here for Netflix. So hold on, let me get that so you can see the screen as well. And you can see that it's got all the apps up on the wall up there, which I'm pointing at, and you can't see where I'm pointing. It's insane. A little bit of a tiger over there as well. This is, I mean, the potential applications of something like this are absolutely insane. It could, like we were just saying, about as simple as crossing the road, this could be a proper life-saving bit of kit. Well, I'm immediately thinking in terms of my crossing the road example from earlier.
Yeah.
If it sees a car coming, stop on the screen.
Yeah, and loud audio, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the system can track and predict when the cars are moving.
Yeah, I mean
it can do that for you, and it can make sure, and it make a game of looking both ways.
Yeah.
Because you're collecting gems or something, so there's incentive to reinforce the behaviour, and that's why I think this is really powerful technology. And it's just going to get easier to use.
Got some VR stuff going on as well through the Google Cardboard. So if you've got a Google Cardboard, download that app as usual with Google Cardboard, because I've got the iPhone 7 Plus. It doesn't fit inside a Google Cardboard. As soon as I get home, I'm downloading the app onto Anna's phone, using the Google Cardboard we've got at home to have a look at the app that they've put together. Which, try it out. Let me know down in the comments what you think of it.
Hello Andy, how are you?
Wink.
Started again.
How are you? Are you okay?
Andy, yeah.
Your eyes better?
Yeah.
Did you have some more spare when you got home?
Yeah.
And what are you watching?
Daddy.
Are you watching Daddy?
With Kevin in Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Yeah, in Cambridge. Well,
You missed Daddy.
well.
Which one are you watching?
The Kevin. Daddy's vlog. Daddy's. Kevin.
Let's have a look. Oh, you're watching that one again?
Kevin.
Kevin.
In Cambridge.
In Cambridge. Do you miss him?
Yes.
Is that what's happening? But let me look at your eye. Oh, it's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm currently revising and David's sitting. Hello, David. Hello, David. Where you got this wire from? What are you watching?
Daddy.
But are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay! Yes!
The event is just about wrapping up now. There's a networking event / meal thing going on over there with the hardcore who are still here. That HoloLens thing. If I got nothing else out today, and I already have got stuff out today, but if I've got nothing else out today, the HoloLens thing I see is just an absolute game changer. The guy who was showing that was talking about how 5-6 years down the line, they would expect that to be no different from a normal pair of glasses. I've got so many different potential applications of that firing around in my head that could help Andy so much. The crossing the road thing is massive, but even silly little things like preparing him for going somewhere before we've been there. Virtual reality applications of, for example, him being able to go and tour around a place we've never been before virtually before he goes there for real, because we know he's got this thing where the first time he goes anywhere he always hates it, but then if it's somewhere that he would like, he asks to go back almost straight away. Well, if he gets to have that first visit somewhere virtually, then can decide if he wants to go back, then things like visits to theme parks, even holidays and things like that, suddenly become things that aren't unrealistic anymore, because he could sit there and tour Disneyland on a VR headset and then prepare himself to be able to go for real, take the route around the park that he wants to take. And at the moment, the reason we haven't done anything like that is because it's just not viable for us to go twice, which realistically is what we'd have to do. But I don't know, there's so much exciting stuff going on. I'm definitely going to be getting involved in more of this as time goes on. My eyes have been opened. This is very cool. All of which concludes my trip to CW Unplugged Tech for Autism event. I'll upload my speech separately. I've recorded it all. I hope the footage has come out okay for that. So that will be a separate video, probably like an hour after this one. It might have already come out earlier in the day. Depends how future Kev wants to sort that out. I also need to put together my video for these guys. I don't know. I'm not really a professional video kind of chap, so I'm probably going to just take the best bits out of this vlog, put something together for them and see what they think, see if they ever ask me back to make a video for them again. But I think the actual event itself was so valuable, and get involved in this because it kind of it's hitting all my areas. You know, I've got, obviously the autism stuff is massively relevant to our daily life. Technology is my background. I'm really excited about possibilities and opportunities that could come out the back of this, so hopefully more cool stuff to come, and it won't be the last you see of this place with the lake and the awesome bike sheds. I hope Anna did record something of Andy when she got home. I haven't spoken to her, I don't know if she actually did. He did stay at school through to the end of the day. He did get the taxi home. I don't know how he is. More news on that tomorrow, I guess. But I am going to head home now. It's gone 8 o'clock. They have random closures of roads between here and Peterborough to get me home, so what should be an hour could potentially take a couple of hours yet. And as usual, got to be up early in the morning. So if you have enjoyed today's vlog, I know it's been a bit of a weird, different one, but if you have enjoyed it, make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for more daily vlogs. And thank you very much for watching.